Welcome aboard. It's Captain G with an update on HBG's Operation Barbarossa. It is Germany turn 6, which represents March and April of 1942. So we'll start in the north and we'll see what Flak 88 did on his turn. Leningrad continues to be a siege with his artillery from the south, the west, and the north taking barrage attacks, weakening. I had almost 30, I believe, and now I'm down to 21. So every turn, that's a lot of infantry to replace. He did not hit my supplies this time, but he has in the past. He's starting to whittle it down. And without the lake there being a means of egress, we consider this zone surrounded, encircled in supply. So while they don't surrender, they consume twice the supplies as normal. So even though it's spring, good weather, they're still burning up 2 supplies per turn. So Leningrad continues to linger on, but I don't know how much longer we're going to last. Just south of Leningrad in Nebel, I'm stopping here because on the Soviet turn, the partisans from Orsha successfully attacked up into Nebel, damaged the railroad, and started an insurgency in this zone while there was a German infantry, and Flak 88 attempted to put down the insurgency, put down the partisans with the garrison division there. The infantry attacked it too, the partisan defended it too, and the partisan won. So now that was a clear zone. So that was a little test. I mean, he did that to try it out. We like the rules with the partisans and how that's working. Now let's go to the focus, or what's becoming the focus, and that's the south. Starting with this little entertaining theater, Odessa, the 6 artillery from the Romanians got 3 hits. That's pretty good odds. It's 50% when you're batting with 4s. So destroyed both the Soviet infantry and half the artillery. So I've got to decide, am I going to reinforce that? Am I going to resupply that? Am I going to pull out of Odessa? What am I going to do down there? But I think Odessa's reaching its end. Go to Donetsk. At least that's what I call the town because I can't pronounce it. But I believe it's Donetsk in the Ukraine. So this large German army swept around, and the forces here coming out of Kyiv pushed up. So now, similar to Leningrad, Donetsk is fully encircled. So they're consuming twice the supplies, and he took his Luftwaffe 3, his 3rd Air Force, with the 1st Air Force being up in Leningrad, and he sent all 3 of his medium bombers against the supplies, because if he can put them out of supply and encircled, the whole city will surrender. And I don't want that to happen because I still have 10, 16 infantry, a couple artillery. So I don't want to lose that entire force like I did with Kyiv and day 1 in the war. So knowing that I'm going to have to try a breakout, he distributed a pretty strong force all the way around. So down here, this army group is the 6th Army Group. This is basically these guys that were here in the city backing down one and crossing the river in non-combat. He's got about 11 armor, Rough same number of mechs, some infantry that he trained up there and moved up by truck, and some artillery. I couldn't get to them if I wanted to, and they're the strongest of the force. Here is the Axis Minor, where he's only got a couple Italian armor, one Hungarian armor, about half a dozen artillery, 3 Hungarian mechs, but 12 Italian infantry ferried up there in non-combat by those trucks. So they can take a lot of hits and they can do some hits. And for me to get them, I have to cross the river, which puts me at a disadvantage. Whoops. I broke the Hungarian commander on top of the task force. So I'm not sure if that's the one I want to hit. The 4th Panzer here has about 7, 11, 3, 5, and 9. 9 armor, 8 mech, some artillery, and AA. They're sitting here, so all metal, no infantry. So any hits I do get would be against steel, which is nice. But again, I'd have the river penalty work against me. I could try to break out, but when you're breaking out of encirclement, you're attacking with a negative. And I can only pull from this city as well. Primarily just infantry. None of the tanks or armor that I have up in Stalingrad would be able to reach. And I don't have any supplies up in Stalingrad for an offensive action. So not sure that's going to work, but it is tempting. And then here he's got about a dozen infantry, some Italian tanks. I'd like to kill some trucks and quite a bit of artillery. So this is also potentially a tempting target. So I got to look at what I'm going to do on my turn. I've got to punch a hole in one of these or I lose all these guys. Fortunately for me, because turning it down just a little bit, because they have supplies, they can help in this and they can punch out, and I'd rather they die fighting out than just disappear if and when they run out of supplies. They could also cross this way and attack into here, but that doesn't make them not encircle, just makes the encirclement bigger. And I have a river penalty because it's liquid water now, it's not frozen over. So Soviets clearly have some planning, have some thinking to do before our turn. And when is our turn? Because depending on the initiative roll, it could be the German turn again. So Flak 88 at the end of his turn rolled, and he got sunny weather for turn 7, which is May and June. So not rainy, not muddy. We still haven't had that. And the Soviets retained the initiative, which is exciting. So next up will be the Soviets. So that's going for us. We still have a decision to make about Donetsk. We have our long-term strategy. How are we going to do? How are we going to break the Germans back? They only have so many turns to win the game, but we're only on turn 7 on a potentially 12 or 18 turn game, depending on how long we want to go. So I can't just wait him out. I have to beat his army. I got to beat his force. And I like the idea of hitting him while he's broken up in little pieces, wiping out one of the forces. So I'm thinking either kill as many of the metal as possible or take these guys out to breach the city, because this armor group over here, which is just off camera, I'm realizing, can come down 1, 2. But then pretty much my entire armor force, except for the new elite guards, are sitting right here, and he could counterattack. Let me know what you think the Soviets should do. Should I just abandon these guys to their fate? Should I attempt to break out Should I go after where I think it'll hurt him the most or where I think it'll help me the most? Do you have another idea entirely? Do you have any questions about some of the rules variations that we're using? Let us know. Thoroughly enjoying this. We're deep into the game. A lot of surprises. A lot of things are working really, really well. This has been a lot of fun. So on behalf of my partner Flak88, this is Captain G. Over and out.